to keep.
You do not. Apologies, but you're not cleared to purchase from me yet.
Brr.
Something is amiss. Oh, but I dare not speculate.
All must serve.
This is foolish, Victor. The High Council needs access to the power grid if we hope to restore the city. Your inability to provide a legitimate excuse for denying them will only last so long.
Victoria is right. I know you're angry, but you can't let personal matters interfere with what may be best for everyone.
Personal matters? This is a Ministry of State matter, and I will handle it as I see fit. He is a traitor. He turned his back not only on his family, but on our people's entire belief system. The fact that he still breathes is a stain upon the House Bethal name.
You would doom us all with your pride.
I will
Interesting.
do as I please as head of this house. If you are not a member of House Bethal, you do not belong here. So you are Anasco's chosen.
Is this not the opportunity you've been looking for, brother? A third party capable of finding Varric?
Yes, you said so yourself. Someone with no loyalties to speak of. And if he's become promised, truly his arrival is more than coincidence.
Okay, dirty laundry.
Serpent, give me strength.
Again.
You both speak true. Perhaps I have reacted in haste. Tell me, Divina, are you well practiced in discretion?
That's my maiden name.
I have heard reports on Ryujin from the Ministry of Conjunction. This news gives me hope. My son, Varric, has left. Essentially, he has abandoned his post. And not only did he turn his back on his house, but the Great Serpent as well. He is a traitor and must be dealt with as such.
Victor, surely you don't mean it.
He does, Luther. He is allowing his fervent pride and anger to cloud his judgment. What my brother is trying to say is that he wishes his own son dead. First, we lose Vashti to that malignance tearing through Dazra. And now you so willingly offer up Varric. As if our house has not suffered enough loss already.
Because he let his weakness get the better of him. He sees himself as a prisoner in this life. He runs from a duty that others would spend their lives coveting. He is my son. He does not get to choose. He was born to inherit my title, and he knows the punishment for refusing to honor it. My son denounced the very faith that defines Var'uun's society. He dared to blame Anasco for the state of Dazra. Dared to call our faith in the Great Serpent blind. It is heresy and punishable by death. If only my sister and husband had your sensibility. I do not wish Varric dead, but as head of the Ministry of State, he left me no choice. All must serve. Those who refuse will be met with death. The shame Varric brought upon this house is immeasurable. It stains the very foundation. I will not act until this house is in order and its members are properly aligned with the Great Serpent. Our duty as wardens is to keep the populace tasked and loyal. All must serve both the Great Serpent and House Var'uun. No exceptions. Those who refuse must be cleansed to stop the spread of corruption. And showing leniency for a house member at a time like this when order is needed most would be unwise.
The law. Our work is not so simple, and you know it. You act as if death is the only answer. What about forgiveness?
I will not risk the Ministry's authority on the actions of my own son, even if he is my chosen heir. If the High Council wants my cooperation, I need you to find Varric and carry out his sentence.
And I would ask you to spare him. My brother is acting under impulse, not reason.
I have never been more clear. Speak against me one more time, and you will regret it.
Okay, this is
Varric
one
has
of
a
those
signature
locations.
With House
One of
Bethal's
those
family crest.
families.
Bring it to me as proof of death. Only then will I grant you access to the power grid. I commend you for your faith. A sad day indeed when an outsider is more devout than my own son. I recommend you start by speaking to patrons of the Herald's Rest. Some of Varric's associates there may know where he went.
All
But
quests
keep in
start
mind,
from
anyone
the
who has
bar.
directly aided him in hiding is an accomplice and shares his fate. If they were, they will pay the price. And remember, absolute discretion. All anyone needs to know is that you are looking for Varric for personal reasons. I will not risk word of his disappearance getting out before I can say the situation has been handled.
Okay.
Remember, Diviner, that I would ask you to spare my nephew. Vashti was my niece. Victor's daughter. Varric's sister. We lost her to the devastation that took half of our great city. Victor will barely speak of her. I think he cannot reconcile the loss with his faith. Victor is letting his emotions get the better of him. He was barely processing the shock and grief from losing Vashti. Then came the anger and betrayal from Varric. My brother is a man of pride and great faith. For the first time, I think he does not know what to do. But I am certain Victor does not wish Varric dead. Is it not obvious? He has given you the perfect out, the ring. Yes, Varric would be loath to part with it. It belonged to his sister and is all he has left. But to save his life, to save her brother, Vashti would give him her blessing to hand it over if you asked. This is why I ask you to spare him. And I pray I have answers for you. Varric was an obedient child, quiet, always absorbed in his studies to please his father. But the two have clashed ever since Varric sacrificed his growth. He found his voice that day, and to Victor's dismay, he wanted no part of being elder. Varric is conflict averse. Pressure, responsibility, stress, he avoids them like the plague. He wants everyone's approval, and as elder, that is an impossible task. I believe it is why he has fled. He made his final stand against his father, and rather than face the disapproval, he disappears. Victor was too lenient with him when it came to Varric's free time. As strict as he was, he allowed him the freedom to associate with whomever he wanted. I think too much time at the Herald Rest showed Varric a different life is possible, when it's not. Not for him. Victor's pride and belief in tradition will not allow it. He sees Varric's refusal to inherit the role of elder as an insult, and many would share that view. Until next time.
A job to do, Diviner. Get it done.
What do you want, brother? Is it time to resume our duel? No, no. I was foolish, Manila. The duel is off, and it should never happen.
Okay, that's nice.
The truth is that
When the duel was sabotaged, I had never felt so relieved in my life. I do not want to kill you, Anila. I am ashamed to have ever challenged you. I am sorry. I understand if you never want to speak with me again. I am disgusted in myself.
Oh, come now, brother. I deserved it all. You have shown me nothing
Yep.
but patience for years. But even the patience of a saint can run out.
No jokes, Anila, please. I just want you to know that I am sorry.
I am too. I will try to be better. I cannot make any promises. All I can say is that I will try. I want to make things right with you, with everyone. But I just do not know where to start.
It is all right, Anila. One thing at a time.
The Great Serpent wouldn't...
Truly, the Great Serpent has blessed you.
What do you want? Can't you see I'm busy?
Okay.
You and me both. The worst thing that can possibly happen, happens. And then he disappears. I mean, come on, we're supposed to be friends. That's what I thought. You'd think B would at least be commiserating with me. But I'm suddenly too drunk to deal with.
I wonder why.
Some friend she is. All she cares about is Varric. Right? That's what we do. When we lost people to the so-called incident, we banded together. I just want Varric to show up so things can get back to normal. Whatever that is. Did he trust me? I just don't know anymore. I wish I could tell you there was. I want to help, but I really can't think of anything. Maybe it was more of a one-sided friendship.
Last easier or
Please, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
wow.
Just leave me be. Everyone else has.
That wasn't helping
What?
much.
Doing all right.
This railing is taken. And no, I'm not looking for company.
I worry about you at times.
Stop. Just stop. Let me drink in peace.
This railing is taken.
I am sorry.
Varric Vethal. And why should I know anything about the heir apparent? I'm nobody. Ask him yourself, if you find him. He does indeed. Well, he used to. Varric. One day we're inseparable, and the next, I've searched all of Dazra for him. But he's gone. Couldn't even leave a note. That means he either doesn't want to be found, or well, I prefer not to think about it. So, what if I did? Like I said, he doesn't want to be found.
Ah.
Yes. And I sure got yelled at plenty of times for being places I shouldn't. Believe me, I'd help if I could. Really? He didn't.
What
I wouldn't
happened?
miss something like that. Enough of this. Please leave me
Are
alone.
did you
I don't
use
want to
the
think about him anymore.
auto persuade? What? What happened? What just happened?
This bar is the only thing... Very. Depends on who's looking for him. And Vi, of course. Sounds like you're here on official business, then. Truth is, I haven't seen him for a few days myself. But if you find him, tell him he better come check on his tab. I know he's good for it, but since he gave Eggy permission to use it, it's sky high. I'm sorry, but when it comes to house business, I stay as far away as possible. I don't blame you, especially in times like these. Well, now I feel really guilty.
So I can't actually manage this.
It's important these days.
Okay, we get an extra turn.
I'd hate to think he'd do anything dangerous. All right, fine. I don't know where he is, but there's a man, Dane Salavea. He might know. That one's easy. Dane's a bit of a regular ever since Dazra went to hell. Just wait around a bit, and he's bound to wander in.
Another one for me, Jenna. It's been a hard day.
Seems it has been one hard day after another for most.
True enough, and no relief on the horizon. Make that 2 drinks, actually. Great, sir. And keep you.
Dane.
I can't believe he'd run off at a time like this.
Hey, aren't you that outsider made promise that showed up here recently? Oh, wow. You really bought in, huh? I'm an outsider myself. It's hard to get into the whole giant snake thing.
Okay, interesting.
I guess when you're part of the supply chain, they make a few exceptions.
I
There's
guess.
not a lot of people in the import-export business when it comes to Dazra, and they aim to keep it that way. But believe me, it wasn't any short amount of time before they let me roam these streets. You could say I'm like a specialized delivery service, moving stuff back and forth between Dazra and the settled systems. Just so happens I got a lot of time on my hands since Dazra went to hell and I lost my ship. And let me tell you, I thought things were grim before. Whatever that incident was, this whole planet's gonna need therapy. Yeah, it's something, isn't it? I've been toting stuff back and forth for these people for years and still get the cold shoulder most places I go. But then these people lose half their city and you show up, and suddenly it's divine intervention. So I've heard. You got something about you, that's for sure. Anyway, enough about that. What can I do you for? That's so. Well, I guess that depends, diviner. Who wants to know? I consider Varric a bit of a friendly acquaintance. I know enough about the guy to care about his physical well-being, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I can't help you. Although, let's just say after what went down here, my retirement's looking imminent, and I haven't exactly been saving up for a rainy day.
Bribe.
So if you're feeling generous, maybe we can help each other out. Nice to see we operate on the same wavelength. I'm pretty sure he's heading into the Highlands. Just not sure where. But I do have the means to track him. So you just say the word and we're off to the races. You make it sound creepy. But yeah, for emergencies.
For emergencies. Okay.
Highlands region is the northwest side of Dazra.
Northwest.
Pretty good area if you don't want to be easily found. After you. Once we're outside of Dazra, I'll fire up my tracker, and fingers crossed, it'll lead us right to him. Just head out the west gate, should be the fastest route.
That guy is running after us. Nobody.
A temporary encampment, but not an uneventful stay for the occupant.
Vortex burns and blood and what else?
Varric's been busy if he got this much done. Friend's a strong word. More like friendly acquaintances. Guess we both felt the Herald's Rest was one of the few places that made us feel like real people. Couple of drinks and everyone's your friend in that moment. He's a good enough guy, I suppose. A little self-absorbed, spoiled. Growing up in a noble house probably does that to you. A little naive, too. He's got this friend, Bianca. She's crazy about him. But the guy's oblivious. And his friend Eggy? Guy needs to lay off the Koza. But I heard Varric let him in on his tab. That's gonna work out well. Blames his dad for everything, though. And I get it. Victor Vathal is not an easy man. He's just used to getting his way and the world revolving around him. When you're raised to be elder, that's bound to bring you all sorts of extra attention. So sometimes when hanging around with us peons, he forgets we have our own thoughts and opinions. Well, it's Victor we're talking about, so it wouldn't surprise me. But Varric can't see how much effort Victor puts into making sure his son has all the tools he needs to take over. He'll go on these rants of Victor drilling him on scenarios. Stuff makes my brain hurt. But Varric talks about it like child's play. Hey, whatever you want. I've only had a few run-ins with Victor for security purposes, and he's all in. The man embodies House Vathal. He could probably recite Janan's teachings word for word, and he runs the Ministry of State without missing a beat. Strict, demanding, and always watching. The guy's good at his job, but when it comes to personality, I couldn't tell you. Whoever he is, he keeps it close to the chest. When you're in the kind of position that he is, I think you have to be. You can't be in charge of security and purging heretics and then turn around and cry over spilled milk. This is Dazra, where noble houses like to duke it out for bragging rights. They see weakness, they take advantage. Not from the man himself. The only time I get glimpses of who Victor might be is through Varric. It's clear he cares about his son, putting in all that work to prepare Varric for the vultures and wolves when he becomes elder. And get this, he even tells Varric he's proud of him.
Okay. Okay.
What the hell is that? Here they come! Are you quite sure?
That was crazy. Maybe I should use the powers. Yep, this is the action point. Okay, so she started to shoot.
Two arms, two legs, still good to go. All my years and all the planets I've been on, never gonna get used to those things.
Just wait till to see your terror morph.
Terror, what? I think I'll pass. At least I don't see a body around here, so I hope that means Varric's alive. You find anything? Injured? Hope he doesn't bleed out by the time we find him. Well, what's next? Varric must have fled in a hurry since his tracker's still here. So guess the rest is up to us. Sounds like a plan. And hopefully that injury slows him down enough for us to catch up. Let's head back down and see what we can find. And by we, I mean you.
Not really designed for the three people. The car, I mean. Irina's farm. Okay. Question to farmers.
That's far enough, strangers. You want to tell me what you're doing on my property uninvited? Varric Bathal, as in Victor's son? Haven't seen him, ever, in fact. Besides, what would the heir of House Vedal be doing on my farm? I can understand that, but I can't help you. The only people here are my partner Zen and our daughter Mila. No one comes around here. We're isolated, and that's the way we like it. That's a generous offer.
Irina, are you sure you know what you're doing?
Zen, yes, I know quite well. Never mind my partner, they're just overly cautious. As I said before, I've never seen Varric Bathal. We keep to ourselves. There's no reason for a path to cross. But We did aid an injured young man a few days ago.
That's gotta be Varric.
It's too coincidental. It must have been him. We sent him north. There's a long-abandoned growth farm we felt he could make use of. He claimed he lost everything in the incident that swallowed half of Dazra. He wanted to start a new life. We even gave him 2 of our own growths to get started.
Thanks for the help.
All must serve.
Farms used robots. Yeah.
Please do not frighten the growths.
Okay. Lighter domestical model.
This unit is programmed to protect these growths by any means.
So back to the north.
I will let you stay.
Abandoned farm. Can we just boost up the hill and or first go closer to the Irina's farm and then north. Over there. That's actually marked route. I have to admit that I was okay with the Mass Effect's Mako in the first game, so didn't feel it was too bad. But this is like crazy good. Somehow aided. And you can fit this almost anywhere, apparently. Sliding around. Apostate Refuge. How nice name. Okay, there's Crocs. Two of them. So this is his dwelling. But I wonder where the man is. Place hasn't been attacked.
It's been a minute since I stretched the old legs. Nothing going on out here. How about you? Find anything? Sounds like it's a waiting game then.
It seems I have uninvited guests. You want to explain yourselves?
Whoa, hey, it's me. Dang. Put the gun down already.
It's not you I'm concerned about. It's your friends.
Rightfully so.
So, it's official. Heretic it is, then. I figured the old man might play it that way. Always the extremist. But since I have your attention, allow me to plead my case. I'm glad someone does for once. I am not sure how familiar you are with our culture, but all I've ever wanted was the right to choose. I was born House Vithal. I was raised to inherit the role of Elder, to run the Ministry of State, to worship the Great Serpent. But I want none of it.
Boo-hoo. Okay.
With House Vithal, easier said than done.
This is true. House Bethal and the Ministry of State are known to be the most devout and punitive of the houses. It would not be easy to leave without extreme consequences, as you now know.
It's never mattered how much I tried to reason with him. My father simply would not let me go. His pride and the fear of what it would mean for House Vithal is all he cares about.
Good stuff. Yeah, I have my character has a parent. This is the first time it actually came up in a conversation.
You sound as if you speak from experience. I envy you. Sometimes I would give anything for a supportive word from my father. All I want is to make my own life. Something Tane understood and was willing to help me with.
The credits help too, but yeah, guess you got the whole scoop now. I was hoping you'd see it that way. I lost my ship to the incident, so I didn't want Varric running off thinking I could just grab him and go. I was also out all the credits he was gonna pay me. That's where you came in. I figured, why not 2 for the price of 1? I didn't realize it was gonna turn into a whole thing.
So, now you know my true intentions for leaving, and given the circumstances, I may be here for some time. My hope now is to make the best of it here. That was never my intention. But I know how it looks. The truth is, the scaled citadel was the last straw. My people are so blinded by faith and politics, they don't see how it's destroying us. Anasko Var'uun eliminated half our population in the blink of an eye. My sister Vashti among them. I could no longer live in a society that won't put its people first. That would destroy itself in the name of a god that has done nothing for us.
Super Emperor's attack. Okay. So you can be a total zealot in this game now with these traits.
And if Var'uun's society continues down this path, when we bring about our own end, will that faith be worth it? Anasko's experiments, execution punishments, us versus the rest of the settled systems. I hope you can see why I want to walk away from all this. To start my own life. I ask that you give me that chance.
So we can persuade him to go back.
I pray I'm not boring you.
Okay, you are free to go, but ask something in return. Or we can actually persuade him to return. But he's a heretic, so that would be his death sentence. Kind of. No.
Anything.
Let's go with the... We are going to be good guys.
My ring. Vashti gave it to me. It's all I have left of her since the cataclysm. The disaster took every physical reminder of her except for this ring. Just wiped her from existence. True. It's as if she's looking out for me. One last time. Take it. I'll find solace in the fact that the ring will remain with my family. And now I hope we are done here. Thank you for seeing reason. I owe you both my life and freedom.
Now that's over with. I'm gonna hang back here, talk to Varric a bit. Besides, I don't want to be around when you break the news to Victor. Do me a favor and find me at the Herald's Rest when you're done.
Oh, right. Well, he needs a new spaceship. Can we teleport this?
Let us speak. You're back. What news do you bring?
What have you done? Varric.
This blood is on your hands, Victor. I hope you remember this. Do not hide behind doctrine. You know as well as I there was a choice to be made.
No, it was Varric's choice. He knew the consequences.
You were his father. You were supposed to protect him. You think you are doing what is right out of some blind dedication, but you are destroying this house. You already lost one child. You had to murder the other.
Victoria!
I will not hear any more of this. It is done. Leave us.
Oh, I am leaving to mourn my nephew whose memory you disgrace with your very presence.
Okay.
Victoria!
Leave her be, Luther. The Great Serpent will guide her. She will understand in time and emerge stronger for it. Well said, Diviner. Now, only one matter remains to discuss. Did you find anyone who aided my son in his treachery?
Good, well done. Good, well done. Okay.
Good. Unfortunately, I have heard ramblings among the people of Varric's disappearance. Wardens are dealing with the matter as we speak. But you restored order to this house, and have my gratitude. Here, the access code that Ekris needs to connect to the power grid. Now go. I have much to arrange.
I would allow Victoria her space.